This Monday, June 19th, is World Sickle Cell Day.
Woo woo! World Sickle Cell Day. Fluck flex, bring that back. Flick, 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 flick. World
Monday,
Sickle Cell Day.
Is World Sickle Cell Day.
World Sickle Cell Day.
So please, spread awareness, share my videos. We want to really get this message out there for people to know about sickle cell anemia and how it affects people's lives. And I do have a very special, funny video coming out for that day. So stay tuned for that video. It's going to be really different, really fun. Hopefully I get people to participate in it.
DJ Khaled, we the best. We got the keys.
This video is already so long. I hope you guys are still watching. I'm so sorry. Stay tuned for the next video. You was having fun partying?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yes, you was.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you was having mad fun.
How I had mad fun?
I was all red, tipsy. No, we recording.
Look what time. Look what time it is. I'm always tired.
We were supposed to be recording. Somebody wanted to come in. What? Let me cut this video here because we're gonna keep going.
It's
bye.
In print.
Bye.
We the best.
Say bye, Susu.
World Sickle Cell Day coming out June 19th.
Absolutely.
Album coming out. Purple Rain. And if I'm telling you.
Everyone, my name is Malika and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. This video we're actually going to be doing the part 2 to the story time of our first time. I'm not sure if I'm going to change the story time for this video because this story time is about what would you say? About nurses getting fired, people trying to get people kicked out, me feeling like I was about to die. So
yeah, that.
So it's a whole bunch of stuff that happened, but let's get straight into this video because I don't want to make it a long video, so let's get straight into it. So where to start?
Start from where it get juicy and good. Like, let's go straight into the hospital.
So like we said, we ended off with 911 coming to pick me up at the house. And when they came to pick me up at the house, they were pretty good. They picked me up really quickly, took me to the nearest hospital in my location where I live at. This particular hospital is known for being overcrowded and just not the best hospital. But at that time, I was told that this was supposed to be the best sickle cell hospital, like the best people there to care for you if you have sickle cell. So that's the only reason why I went to this hospital. But besides that, they usually call this hospital very funny names, not good names. Should we say the name? Does it matter? Can we get sued for this? I'm not gonna
say no names.
All right, we're not gonna say hospital names.
It's one of the best trauma hospitals.
No, I'm talking about
in New York.
The best. Okay, yeah, it is the best trauma hospital, but yeah. I'll say that. It's one of the best trauma hospitals.
So if you think you out there and you want to be the next 50 Cent, that's the hospital you want to go to or something like that.
It's funny because this experience I'm going to tell you right now, I always tell my husband, although they're the best trauma hospital, don't send me to this hospital because, I don't know, my experience this time was the worst, and this is the reason why I stopped going there completely. Get straight into it. So, ambulance drops me off in the ER. Like I said, this hospital is very overcrowded. So my stretcher was actually out in the hallway, because there were no rooms available. There were stretchers in the hallway, whatever the case may be. Pain is extremely bad. Like I said, I can't move, I can't walk. I have back pains, leg pains, everything is paining me. The first thing that went wrong was I had to use the bathroom at one point. And were you there the whole night? Or did you leave at one point, I think?
Yeah.
I think he left at one
Unfortunately, this hospital is very funny with their visiting hours. This time I was there, but I needed to just step out for 1 minute. I guess I was going to talk to your brother. He was waiting outside to let him know what was going on.
And the funny thing about it is that every time I went through a bad or problem with this hospital, it would be like when he wasn't there. Like when he would leave, that's when like nurses and just different people would start messing with me. So the first thing that happened, like Patrick said, he left to go speak to my brother because he was still outside, and my brother followed the ambulance when they dropped me off. But anyways, he went outside to speak to my brother. So I had to use the bathroom really bad. Mind you, I cannot walk, I cannot move. I'm in excruciating pain. So I tell the nurse, like, listen, I need to go to the bathroom. Can someone help me, walk me to the bathroom? And the nurse is just like, get up and go yourself. What? Like, I'm in excruciating pain. You see me here crying. You know my situation now. Get up and walk myself. Like, that right there just blew my mind. That shit just even got me into more, because stress also brings on crisis. So my body was already going through a lot. So that wasn't, helping me at all by just saying something like that to me. So, like I said, I had to use the bathroom really bad. I didn't want to pee on myself. So I basically had to, like, kind of maneuver myself out of the stretcher and drag myself along the walls, like pulling myself in excruciating pain, limped over, dragging against the walls to get to the bathroom. When I get to the bathroom, there's some guy in there cleaning it, and it wasn't ready. I'm really crying, I'm really stressed out, I'm really just pissed off at the fact that no one wanted to help me walk over to the bathroom. Get back to my stretcher, in comes Patrick. So I tell him what happened, and he's like pissed off. He's like, why don't they help you? Like, what is going on in here? So you can kind of add to that part.
So she tells me what happens. I come in. I'm like, what do you mean no one wanted to help you? What do you mean you had to walk to the bathroom? What do you mean that you had to do this? What do you mean? Like, where are the people that get paid to help you that should be helping you? They're all in the front talking about, oh, girl, me got the new high hairstyle. Me got new hair. Me got new nails. So I'm like, all right, cool, no problem. Understand that. Hair and everything is nice. But right now, I got someone here that's a loved one, and we all know that have ever had loved ones in the hospital, how we could get very, eager for them to get treatment. We can get very understanding to what needs to take place. But at this time, I'm like, you know what? If she go to the bathroom, and if you guys know what sickle cell is, you should have a wheelchair to help her, or at least a bedpan so she can go to the bathroom. Do what you need to do. So I go and talk to the head nurse. The head nurse tells me, all right, that's unacceptable. I'll make sure that my staff works with her really well. That didn't really help too much. Things wound up going from 0 to 100 again.
So he's fast forwarding, but backtracking. So now, mind you, I didn't use the bathroom yet. Finally, the nurse came and she said, she gave me a bedpan and was like, you know what, here, we're going to give you a bedpan. We're going to pull out a patient that's already like in a room and then put you in there so you can have somewhat of a privacy. And then when you're finished, they'll just remove me. So whatever the case may be, I used the bedpan. Mind you, I can't move well. So they had to help me sit on top of the bedpan while I'm laying in the stretcher to use the bathroom. So now it's time for me to get help to get off the bedpan and, just help, cleaning myself up. And the nurse is just like, help yourself. Now, I was already, like I said, I was already in a lot of pain. I'm not there really emotionally. I'm just like, what the hell? Like, why are these nurses not doing their job? Like, why are these, like, what is it, the nurse assistants or patient care, whatever they are? Why are they not helping the patient? Like, why are they not helping me? I didn't know that Patrick was outside of the curtain listening. So he'll tell you about that part, because that part was kind of crazy.
So when like I said in the beginning, is that I used to work there. So a lot of the staff members that work there, a lot of the hospital police, so they would let me come into the back to see how she was doing. So it was this one patient, a gentleman that was outside, and the nurses that were working with her, and the nurse's aide or whatever they call it, don't know the titles of the people too well. They asked me, oh, are you with him? And I was like, yeah, I'm with the guy. They know this guy from a can of paint. I'm just like, I'm with him. So they go behind a curtain, they're dealing with Malika, they're dealing with her very nasty, took it to her really mean, really vulgar, like, do it yourself. You don't need our help. So I'm sitting behind the curtain, I'm like, all right, about that life, okay. So when they come out behind the curtain, I'm like, what's your name? Hey, what's your name? Oh, why? I said, because I'm her husband.
We weren't even married.
We weren't married yet, but they didn't need to know that.
Yeah.
They didn't need to know that. That's, you know. So I'm like, I'm her husband, and the way you spoke to her just now, with using the backhand was inappropriate. The way that you handled the situation with her was inappropriate. So I need your name, and go get your manager, supervisor, whoever you need to get, bring them here right now. So they went and brought someone that actually knew me when I used to work there. And they told me, oh, I'm sorry. Again, you go again with the other apologies, and I'm sorry this never happened. The 2 nurses that were working with her, I am happy to say they did go home. They sent them home for that night because it was just crazy. Like, you don't speak to no one like that. You don't treat someone nasty because you feel that they don't have a family member or they don't have someone there to advocate for them. So I would say just quickly in this part right here, always be there, always have someone there to advocate for you, always have someone there to watch what's going on with these people, because believe it or not, you know, they're there to do a job, but they don't understand that it's a job, and it's also, you know, people care about how they, you know, take how a person feels into consideration. Yeah. If a person can't go to the bathroom, it's not because they don't want to go to the bathroom by themselves. They can't. They're sick. You understand? You took an oath to do no harm and care for others. Do that oath. So now they took her out of the emergency room, which was overcrowded, and they took her to another part, which was really nice, and you know she got some good treatment down there.
That was like the only best.
They took really good care of you down there. They were afraid I was going to have more nurses sent home, so like already rumors were going around about the hospital about me that, you know, if they didn't treat her well, people were going to get sent home, and you know, if she didn't get this kind of treatment, people were going to lose their jobs. So I was known, like, to get people sent home at that time. So
I was in that good part. It was still kind of ER, but it just wasn't in that big ER department. It was like another section that I never even knew that they had. They were treating me really well. I believe I went to sleep for a little bit because they did have me on pain medication at the moment. When I woke up, I don't know what happened, what changed, but I started getting this chest pain. And I don't know, it was just like every breath I took, every deep breath, I was in a lot of pain.
It's okay.
So I don't know, like it was just weird because I wasn't, when I came to the hospital, I was in a lot of pain already with my body, like my back and my legs and things. You know, I couldn't really walk, I couldn't move. It was very painful. But now every breath that I took, my chest was just hurting. I couldn't even breathe well. So I think they came. What happened? They didn't really do much. They would just give me pain medication. So eventually, yes, they did admit me and they took me upstairs to my room.
The part that she is referring to is that they did admit her. They took her upstairs to her room, but they could not understand why her.
I had a fever as well.
Why her white blood cell count was so high when they were running labs on her. So in the process of running labs, the hospital, now this is her hospital that she always go to for sickle cell crisis, that also leads the county that we lives in sickle cell, but they have never seen it before. So she was going through a first for her, a first for the hospital, and a first for when we were out of town on vacation. So it was a first for everyone. So now, So
what are you talking about? Let me correct that, because it wasn't a first. I don't know why, but the sickle cell team didn't really come in until kind of late in the game. Like the doctors and whatnot, they wasn't really understanding what was going on.
Because they kept running her sickle cell count. Yeah. They kept running her white blood cell count, and it was very high. So instead of them getting the sickle cell team and the sickle cell team talking with the doctors, they wound up calling the CDC.
They didn't know what was happening.
When they called the CDC,
just for people that don't know, it's the Center of Disease Control.
So when they called the CDC, and I see, now anyone ever been in a hospital and you see the CDC walk in, they look like people that's looking for aliens. They're like, yo.
X-Files, like those, like people that be coming.
They came into the room like, we're checking for this, we're checking for that.
Get that.
CDC comes in the room and they're like, well, we're gonna run this test and this test and this test and this test. And come to find out, running all these tests, They should have just made. They could have made just one phone call and talked to the Sickle Cell team, and everything would have been cleared up from there.
Because they did do like bacteria cultures to see what was going on, and the cultures were coming up negative.
Run a culture every hour.
Yeah,
on the hour for you name it. It was ran. If you think it was ran. They were running like urine analysis, bacteria, blood tests, everything. Every hour, a person can get stick, prodded, whatever you call it. It was being done to her, and it was just poor communication between two different departments, trying to figure out, is it bacterial? Is it virus? Is it this? It was just so many things going on at the one time.
Eventually they came, they did a chest x-ray because like I said, I was spiking a fever of like 103. The fever was not going down. I couldn't breathe because every breath I took, my chest was hurting me. I had shortness of breath. What else? It was just bad. So when they came, they actually had to come to my room to take chest x-ray. It was very hard because they had to kind of sit me up. Like I said, mind you, my legs still hurting me, both legs. My back is hurting me. My chest is hurting me. Everything is just at an all-time high, and I never experienced this kind of pain before. So after they did that, they ended up contacting the Sickle Cell team. Sickle Cell team came, and they ended up telling me that I basically have a pneumonia type, kind of like pneumonia for sickle cell patients, and they call that acute chest syndrome. Acute chest syndrome. And acute chest syndrome is basically like having a crisis in the lungs. And like I said, but it shows up like pneumonia on the x-ray, and it basically kind of damages your lungs because, I don't know if you remember, but if you watch my video for what is sickle cell anemia, the blood wasn't flowing through the vessels properly. And when that happens, that means that it's damaging the organs and tissue. So it was damaging my lungs. So that's the pain that I was feeling. And once the sickle cell doctors came in, they said what it was. Acute chest syndrome is the leading cause of death in sickle cell patients. That's why I kind of, I said that, that's how I kind of almost died, because it's a very serious condition that runs with sickle cell patients, especially when you're older and you're an adult.
And it moves very quickly.
Yeah, it's very rapid. That's why it's a very serious condition, because it happens so rapidly. You could deteriorate really quickly because you're already spiking a fever. You can't breathe well. Your lungs is damaged. Your body's just out of whack because it's going through a crisis. So that's why it's very, life-threatening for sickle cell patients, and that's why it's the leading cause of death in sickle cell patients. Actually, transfusing me because my counts were dropping. My hemoglobin is usually at a 910. It dropped to about a 6.5. So they ended up transfusing me. That part was crazy. So the transfusion part was actually crazy because when you're transfusing a patient, I don't know what it is, but once you, I guess, take the blood out of the bag, out of the box, you're supposed to give it to the patient within a certain amount of time. And the nurse, I don't know why these nurses just keep dropping the ball, but they didn't give it to me in a certain amount of time. So I ended up having to wait even longer for the blood. And I remember my sickle cell doctor coming in and getting so upset because it's very important that I get this blood, and they just didn't give it to me on time. So they end up having to, I guess, get new blood again to give to me at a later time. Yeah, so, they're trying to work it out. They're trying to bring down my fever. They're giving me antibiotics to try and, kind of level things out. The main thing they're telling me to do is take deep breaths and use I forgot the exact word for it, but I think it's called a spirometer. It's a breathing machine where you just practice breathing in, and it's supposed to help strengthen your lungs. Also, they were giving me IV fluids, but they had to be careful with the IV fluids because if you get too much, it can start filling up, in your lungs, and they don't want that. What else were they doing? They were giving me IV fluids, they're giving me pain medication and whatnot. So, yeah, all this is going on. Finally, I get my blood. I think that was my first time actually getting a blood transfusion.
It was.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was just things started to get a little worse because just the treatment that I was getting at the hospital, the same thing that happened to me in the ER happened to me actually when I was admitted up in the room. You know, they would leave me for hours on a bed, not close to hours on a bedpan, and not come back and just forget about me. Although I'll be pressing the bell for someone to come, no one wouldn't come.
Yep.
Mind you, like I said before, I couldn't move, I couldn't walk. Even just to sit up, I couldn't do that. Like, I had to raise the bed up for me to sit up, or someone had to pull me up because I couldn't move.
And mind you, this is during a time when they would leave her, is when no one was with her, or I was at work, or I ran out to get her some food, or I just went home to get a little shut eye to come back for the night. It taught us a lot. You know, it taught us about knowing yourself, knowing your hospital, and knowing how to get better treatment, and how to also have people advocate for you when you're in situations like this. What do you want to add before we end?
Before we end, we still got more to tell. So eventually they were having a very hard time bringing down my fever. The time that they actually did get it down a little bit enough to where it was like 99 point whatever, they were about to send me home. One last time they checking on my temperature, ready to go home, ready to, you know, be out the hospital. You know, and the thing about it is that I wasn't like, I was excited to go home, but I was still in pain because acute chest syndrome takes time to heal. It takes time for your body to repair. So I still had chest pains when I left the hospital, but I was still able to walk. I was able to walk again. And they just felt like I was safe enough to go home, although I was still in pain. But the moment I was supposed to be going home, they take my temperature one last time.
And she spiked the what?
Fever. 101 or 100. And I was so mad because once I spiked that fever, they couldn't let me go home.
And this is during, now we're talking about, we went to, just give you a time frame on how long she had a crisis for. Yeah. She got admitted in the hospital. If you look at video one in New Mexico from Thanksgiving, she was in the hospital now. It's what,
it's December.
This is like 3 days before Christmas. Yeah. So now you're almost speaking a month in the hospital running a crisis and acute chest syndrome and fusions and pain. So for a month.
It was a long, so, that's how long it was.
Speaking about like going to the hospital in blizzards and crazy weather conditions and you know, stuff like that. And I'm not saying that because, you know, I know you guys out there say, you know, you're a great guy and, you know, you love her and stuff like that. But this is things that you would do out there for anyone that you really care about and you want them to get the best treatment. Like, this is things that when our dogs are sick, we go up and beyond for them. So, you know, I just want to say, if you love someone or you care about them, friend, family, whoever it may be, give them the best. Give them the treatment that you want to have for yourself. Yeah. You know, and trust, believe it, it'll come back to you tenfold.
Like I said, acute chest syndrome is a very serious condition when it comes to sickle cell patients. So, when I did leave the hospital, I was still having chest pains. I didn't have a fever anymore. It's something that I really had to, you know, be on top of though. I still had to take my temperature when I got out from the hospital. And the only thing that really was supposed to help this, that the doctor said, was deep breathing and using that breathing machine to help build back up my lungs and for it to get back stronger. Just to kind of give you a little brief, like, kind of idea of how bad it was for me to walk maybe, what would you say, 20 steps.
Just to walk at all hurted you.
Yeah, just to walk at all.
Breathing hurted you. Talking hurted you.
Yeah, speaking hurt. Talking hurt. Laughing was hurting me. Taking like 10 steps or Patrick, what are you doing?
Sorry.
Taking like 10 or 20 steps, I was like just out of breath. Like I couldn't. I looked like I just ran like a marathon.
Felt like you were out of shape.
Yeah.
Like the person just trying to get
just for walking like 10 steps.
Cardio back into like playing, but
yeah. So it took a long time to finally get back to a point where I was able to, you know, feel good again and whatnot. like I said, me and Patrick weren't married at that time, but I was by myself and I still needed care, so I did stay with my grandmother. Rest in peace. She did pass away. It's about to be a year soon, no?
Yeah, it'll be Brady was a real OG.
Amazing. So she took care of me. She made sure I ate. Yeah.
Took very good care of her. Took very good care of me also when I came over to check on how my darling wife is doing. She made sure I had food. She would say, you know, don't worry about coming over, and you know, it was a lot, you know, but it all goes based upon, like, you know, who do you have in your circle when you hit these situations? You want to make sure your circle, your team is strong. Every day I was getting calls from her mother. How is my daughter doing?
My mother actually flew in.
Her mother, you know, strong prayer woman, made a phone call. I'm on my way in. I said, you sure? She said, you serious? I said, okay. She came in and, you know, it helped me out a lot because, you know, she was able to help me with, you know, taking care of her daughter and everything. And as you guys can see, you know, she's doing great here today, and we were able to get married and, you know, tied a knot, and been happy ever since then. So.
And it's crazy because I experienced pain crisis before, but nothing ever like this. Like, I never educated myself fully about sickle cell, and this just opened my eyes to learn more about it and, you know, just spread awareness about it more, because before I was just going about my life. Yes, I'll have pains here and there, but this just made me want to learn more about sickle cell. So I started reading things, you know, going online, doing research, and I learned so much more. I thought that I never knew there was so much complications for sickle cell. So, you know, this opened my eyes up a lot. And because of the bad care that I did get at that hospital, I changed my hospital and my doctors, and now I'm receiving amazing care now. And yeah, I don't know how much more. Oh yeah, also just to give you guys a little update, because since New Mexico I had a bad loss of appetite, I didn't get back my appetite until maybe 2 weeks later after I was discharged from the hospital in New York. I ended up losing like 15 pounds. Like, I got really skinny because I couldn't eat. I was in a lot of pain medication, all this stuff. I really didn't have an appetite, but I ended up, you know.
Yeah, I don't think you really got back to having an appetite until like, so we went through, so we got there after Thanksgiving. She was there during Christmas. She got out a little bit after Christmas. Now we're speaking.
It was before Christmas.
She got out before Christmas. Sorry. Now we speak about like now New Year's is rolling around. And we spent New Year's together at home, out the hospital, thank God. Now, around New Year's, after New Year's, she starts to, start to feel like herself again. She's able to eat for all my Guyanese people out there, you know, she's able to eat some cook-up rice and thing like that with chicken and thing inside of it and some pumpkin, you know, and thing like that for my GT people out there that know what I'm talking about. So, you know, GT to the world, shout out.
Did we leave anything out? I feel like we're leaving something out.
We didn't leave anything out. And if you have any questions, like, I want you guys to really, really take the time out and watch the videos. Just don't comment to comment. Really watch this and ask questions and understand this, because if you're watching this and you have sickle cell, it may be something you may go through. It may be something that we can tell you that can prevent this. Like for her, it was the traveling, the different altitudes that triggered this. It wasn't nothing. It wasn't nothing crazy that she was doing, like drinking or smoking. It was just something simple, like the altitudes. There's in an airplane, going up and down and going sightseeing. So now we know when she travels, she has to take a day just to rest and to hydrate her body and let her cells, you know, get acquainted to the new environment. So, you know, watch it, ask questions, you know. lika.wayy YouTube page is here to, you know, help you guys and give you guys the information that you need. Sorry. No, that just.
So also, you know, I think we covered everything. Like Patrick said, if you guys have any questions, please comment it down below. I'll answer it to the best of my abilities. To end this video off, I want to remind everyone that this Monday, June 19th, is World Sickle Cell Day.
Woo woo! World Sickle Cell Day. Flex, bring that back. World Sickle Cell Day
is World Sickle Cell Day.
World Sickle Cell Day.
So please, you know, spread awareness, share my videos. We want to really get this message out there for people to know about sickle cell anemia and how it affects people's lives. And I do have a very special, funny video coming out for that day, so stay tuned for that video. It's going to be really different, really fun. Hopefully I get people to participate in it. And thank you guys so much for watching my videos. Please like, comment, subscribe, share. Just spread the news. This video is already so long. I hope you guys are still watching. I'm so sorry. Stay tuned for the next video. Like I said, I have a special video coming out. World Sickle Cell Day, June 19th.
June 19th. I'm promoting it. It's like my mixtape. Catch me.
Stay tuned.
Listen to me.
Stay tuned.
Watch what I'm saying.
Bye. Let me cut this video here because we're gonna keep going.
It's
bye.
In print.
Bye.
Be the best.
Say bye, Susu.
World Sickle Cell Day coming out June 19th. Album coming out. Purple Rain. And if I'm telling you.